Hi, I am Dr. Maime. I'm a professional researcher with an experience in both the academia and the professional world. Currently, I spend most of my time doing research for organizations and individuals alike. Before coming into the professional world, I spend most of my time lecturing in the areas of accounting and information systems. My highest qualification is a Doctor of Business Administration qualification, a PhD, where I focused on web technologies and their financial benefits. Before that, my master's study was in management information systems within the context of passport processing. When it comes to research, I have realized through my experience and interaction with a number of students that all researches differ. But as much as researches differ, it is not easy for students to navigate the world of research without assistance. And I understand why. Research is a highly technical field. There are subjects in the academia that you can navigate it through a textbook and you can easily understand how to navigate that specific subject by just reading a theory and applying it. But when it comes to research, there's a number of technicalities that require an expert in that field to help you navigate, to help you understand how to come up from idea generation, coming up with a topic, understanding the background to that study, and developing a problem statement, because it is out of the problem statement that we ultimately see the need for that research. It is out of the problem statement that we understand whether this study is necessary. Normally in research, we say, if the gap is too small, then the study is not necessary or significant. But we also say if the gap is too big, then it cannot be filled or it cannot be closed through one study. So what we do in research is we help students understand how to identify a problem that is small enough and that is also big enough to warrant a scientific study. So we help, it's important, and like I said, one of my experiences is that students do not understand how to derive that topic, especially to make it interesting, so much that they can see the need to follow through with it until the finish. Believe me, research is a longer process and it has its own upheavals. So it is very important that you do a study in an area that you are interested in. Do a study in something that is of interest to you. So now, students struggle to understand what I normally call the idea generation stage of research. And normally, there's a temptation to rush to other weightier matters of research, when especially such technical aspects as the methodology. But I normally say all of those things, the methodology and all the jargons that go in there, can only be understood within the context, which is what I refer to as the foundational stage, the idea generation of your research. And that idea generation, when we have identified the problem statement, we need to then develop objectives of the study. When we have developed the objectives of the study, it is then that we can come up with the best literature approach or relevant literature that addresses specific objectives. But again, I cannot overemphasize the fact that it starts with the idea. What is the idea? And so I find so much fulfillment in helping students derive or generate that idea that is of interest to them. in their specific field and to developing those objectives. And I find that if these foundational matters are very clear to them and they understand what ultimately their research intends to fulfill, then it becomes very easy for them to deal with, and it becomes very easy even for me to explain all other ensuing stages of their study, like your literature review. And at the end of the day, we end up demystifying the methodology chapters. Because at the end of the day, the golden thread here will always be those objectives. And so for me, what is most important or primarily important is the idea generation stage or the foundational stage of the study, because that is that will always be our campus throughout the research process. So when we come to a methodology, the same idea, the same foundation still becomes important. When it comes to your data analysis, interpretation, and the final report, the same become important. If I succeed in explaining to a student or in enabling a student to master the content of research, then I get the fulfillment out of that. My philosophy is simple. I use an inductive approach to facilitating and to helping students understand research. What does that mean? I extract knowledge out of your mind and I help you reach the conclusion. If I do that, you own the knowledge, you own the conclusion, and it becomes your own knowledge. Not only that, if I extract knowledge out of your mind and help you understand that you can reach the necessary conclusions, then it becomes fulfilling for both the student and the facilitator. So an inductive approach is the most important way that facilitates learning. So I shy away from the idea of teaching, although we do teach, but I appreciate the learning process, because in the learning process, even the facilitator learns. Although it is my responsibility to put before you and to assist you, to guide you in selecting the relevant and the appropriate approaches to your study. And that is what we do at Blue Frontier Path. Our intention, our purpose, and our fulfillment is in demystifying concepts that may somewhat be considered to be so complex to grasp for students. That journey then becomes fulfilling for a student. I'm looking forward to working with you in this area of research, doing my bit while you do your bit. I'm looking forward to making the journey, the research journey, bearable, enjoyable, and to loosen the weight a little bit for you. Thank you very much. Please feel free to contact us at Blue Frontier Path so that we can walk this journey of research with you and make it fulfilling for both of us. Thank you very much.